In a surprising turn of events, Tesla has joined forces with Chinese automakers BYD, SAIC, and Geely in a legal battle against the European Union over recently imposed duties on electric vehicles, EVs, manufactured in China. This unexpected alliance, bringing together American and Chinese companies, marks a significant moment in the ongoing trade tensions between China and the EU, with far-reaching implications for the global automotive industry. The lawsuit, filed at the Court of Justice of the European Union in Luxembourg, challenges the EU's decision to impose countervailing duties on Chinese-made EVs, which came into effect in late October 2024. These duties, ranging from 7.8% for Tesla to a staggering 35.3% for SAIs, were implemented following a year-long investigation by the European Commission into alleged unfair subsidies provided by the Chinese government to its EV manufacturers. The European Commission's investigation, which began in October 2023, concluded that subsidies throughout the Chinese EV supply chain were leading to underpriced vehicles being exported to Europe, potentially threatening the health and competitiveness of the European automotive industry. The EU's move to impose these duties was seen as a protective measure for its domestic car manufacturers, who have been struggling to keep pace with the rapid advancements and cost-effectiveness of Chinese EV producers. Tesla's involvement in this legal challenge is particularly noteworthy. Despite being an American company, Tesla manufactures a significant portion of its Europe-bound vehicles in China, making it subject to these new tariffs. The company's decision to join the lawsuit underscores the complex nature of global supply chains and the interconnectedness of the modern automotive industry. The legal challenge filed by these automakers aims to contest several aspects of the EU's decision. They are likely to challenge how subsidies were calculated, what constitutes a subsidy, and the assumption that these subsidies caused injury to the EU's single market. The companies argue that the EU's assessment of subsidies and their impact on the European market is flawed and does not accurately reflect the realities of the global EV industry. This legal battle is set against the backdrop of a rapidly evolving EV market in Europe. Chinese EV manufacturers have been making significant inroads into the European market, with their market share growing from a mere 3.9% in 2020 to 25% by September 2024. This surge in market share has raised concerns among European policymakers and industry leaders about the long-term viability of domestic EV production. The EU's decision to impose these duties has been met with mixed reactions. While some European automakers and policymakers have welcomed the move as necessary to protect the continent's automotive industry, others have criticized it as protectionist and potentially harmful to consumers. Critics argue that these tariffs could slow down the adoption of EVs in Europe by making them more expensive, potentially hindering the continent's efforts to transition to cleaner transportation. The lawsuit also highlights the delicate balance. The EU must strike between protecting its domestic industries and maintaining open trade relations with China, its largest trading partner. The Chinese government has strongly criticized the EU's decision, calling it protectionist, and urging for speedy consultations to reach a mutually agreeable solution. As the legal proceedings unfold, the implications of this case extend far beyond the courtroom. The outcome could significantly impact the future of EV production and sales in Europe, potentially reshaping the continent's automotive landscape. If the duties are upheld, it could prompt Chinese manufacturers to consider establishing production facilities within the EU to circumvent the tariffs, a move that some companies are already exploring. The case also raises important questions about the nature of government support for emerging industries and the line between fair competition and unfair subsidies in the global marketplace. As countries around the world race to establish dominance in the EV sector, debates over what constitutes fair government support are likely to intensify. For European consumers, the immediate impact of these duties could be higher prices for Chinese-made EVs. However, the long-term effects are less clear. While the EU argues that these measures are necessary to ensure fair competition and protect European jobs, there are concerns that they could slow down the transition to electric mobility by making EVs less affordable. The legal challenge is expected to last around 18 months, with the possibility of appeals extending the process further. During this time, the duties will remain in effect, potentially altering the competitive landscape of the European EV market. The proceedings at the General Court will be closely watched by industry observers, policymakers, and consumers alike, as they could set important precedents for future trade disputes in the rapidly evolving EV sector. As the case progresses, it's likely to spark broader discussions about the future of the global automotive industry and the role of government policy in shaping it. The transition to electric vehicles is seen as crucial in the fight against climate change, and how countries navigate the complex interplay between environmental goals, industrial policy, and international trade will have far-reaching consequences. The alliance between Tesla and Chinese automakers in this legal challenge also highlights the increasingly blurred lines between national interests and global business realities in the automotive sector. As companies like Tesla build global supply chains and production networks, traditional notions of national champions in the auto industry are being challenged. Meanwhile, the European automotive industry finds itself at a crossroads. While the tariffs may provide some short-term protection, there are concerns that they could ultimately hinder innovation and competitiveness. European automakers will need to accelerate their EV development and production capabilities to compete on the global stage, regardless of the outcome of this legal challenge. The case also underscores the growing importance of battery technology and supply chains in the EV industry. China's dominance in battery production has been a key factor in its EV success, and European efforts to establish a domestic battery industry will be crucial in determining the continent's competitiveness in the EV market. As the world watches this legal battle unfold, it's clear that the outcome will have implications far beyond the automotive industry. It touches on fundamental questions about the nature of global trade, the role of government in supporting emerging industries, and the balance between environmental goals and economic interests. The coming months will be crucial, as both sides present their arguments, and the court weighs the evidence. Whatever the outcome, this case is likely to be a defining moment in the global transition to electric vehicles, and could shape the future of the automotive industry for years to come. As we await the court's decision, one thing is certain: the road to an electrified future is proving to be as complex and challenging as it is exciting and transformative.